when they evaluated. In her shoe, she said she lost everything. She wanted proof that she lived.
When I worked double shifts, your grandma used to stay awake until you fell asleep. She said, Avery should wake up feeling like someone was watching over her.
Grandma, I acted like your stories were interruptions, but actually they're invitations. I'm sorry it took me this long to realize that. You come back. That was my red dress. But it's black and white. I know, but I remember the red.
This is my grandma, Nina Kim. She thought she only had one photo of herself at 16. But really, she gave our family thousands of memories. We just forgot to ask for them.
Poor Avery, when she wants to remember where she came from. I just wanted you to know that you were loved before you could even remember it. I'm sorry for ever coming you. You put me back in.
Hey guys, so today's video is actually going to be a little bit different because I'm here with my grandma. And she's going to be teaching us how to make mango sticky rice and also tell us a story about the one time that she burned it so bad the neighbors had to come over.
That happened only one time. Actually, it was 3 times. You know, my grandma, she always told me that pictures remember what people forget, but honestly, I think people remember better when they listen. Good. Now, listen very carefully. The secret is to use more coconut milk than your doctor approves. Pinch of sea salt and condensed milk straight out of the can.
Some memories are just too important to lose. With the new Microsoft Surface Pro, it's easier than ever to preserve the moments that matter the most. Click the link in the description to learn more. I hope you enjoyed that little mini movie, but now let's go ahead and start today's video.
Welcome to Grade Week, everyone. Before you go to class, be sure to stop by to receive your badge, which will reflect your overall current GPA. Liam,
What do I do with it?
you're going to wear your badge all week. It's part of a new school-wide initiative to encourage accountability and inspire you to focus on academic growth. Maya, no, badges must be visible all week. No exceptions. Oh, Brio, I am sure you already know your badge color.
Oh, thank you for sortiness.
You've earned it. For students who have already achieved high marks, this week will be a week of celebration. For all those with an A badge, Dana, you will have special perks as a reward.
Finally, our grades actually mean something.
Oh, they always did.
This seems unfair. Are you really going to make people write their grades in public? It's about accountability. It's labeling, okay? Grades shouldn't be the only thing that students are valued for. What about creativity or, I don't know, leadership or extracurriculars?
Sounds like somebody knows their color of their badge is going to be bad.
Lisa's grade is none of your business, Brielle. Let's see. Isa? Oh. This doesn't seem right. It's your overall current standing. It looks like your math grade has brought you down substantially. Let this week be a turning point. Use the badge as motivation.
And maybe now you actually try harder in school.
I can't wear this. It's not optional. Put it on.
That suits you.
Solve for X. Show your work.
This will be collected. Hey, do you get this?
Mm-mm. Math is the reason arranged traffic light of shame.
Same.
You know, it's actually not hard if you actually pay attention.
We are paying attention. Some of us just need things explained differently.
Sounds like an excuse. Do the work, get the grade, easy.
Well, not everyone's brain works like yours.
Clearly.
Maybe she's right. Maybe I'm just a nut kid.
Something's gotta change.
Yeah. What are you trying to say with this piece? That I'm a minimalist.
I think it's trying to say that you are avoiding your assignment. Self-portrait is supposed to say something real, something true. It gives us the opportunity to dig deep.
Noted. Like, what even is this class? If I didn't have to take an elective for my college application, I would not be wasting my time here.
Yeah, nice job, Isa. The color choice. It feels powerful.
Really?
Yeah,
I'm finding it pretty difficult to feel powerful right now.
one letter grade, you never tell a whole story.
Yeah, well, Flemish Principal Martinez felt that way.
Yeah, me too, kiddo.
Come on, everybody, filter in. A students will be in the front, B students to the left, C, D's, and F's to the back.
This cannot be real. B students will be getting snacks and drinks this week.
A students will also be getting catered lunches and early dismissal. All the other lower badges, you'll be staying late for academic assessments. Oh, look, it's the dumpster squad.
Put the phone down.
I just documenting grade week.
No, you're not. You're bullying people. Everyone here already knows we're failing. You don't have to rub it in.
Wasn't that like the whole point? If people feel bad about their failures, maybe let us try harder.
Yeah, but you don't care about motivating anyone real. You just want to feel superior, but you're not better than anyone else here.
Well, my badge and my catered lunch is otherwise.
Isa, the principal's watching.
Bye, Reds.
Enjoy the smell.
Enough is enough. Grade week is going down, and so is Brielle. Mom, finally, we have to talk about grade week.
First day went well, don't you think?
Well, the kids feel awful. You've totally managed to turn them into outcasts on day one.
Discomfort can spur change. We have to trust the process.
So why? Why do we have to do this at all?
The school board is pressuring me to get scores up. Parents are frustrated. Attendance is low, and students need a wake-up call. And honestly, so do you, Isa.
Me?
You're smart, Isa, but you don't put nearly as much energy into your academics as you should. You need to take your future more seriously.
But I do take my future seriously. I'm going to art school.
We've discussed this, Isa. Art is a hobby.
It's more than a hobby to me. I work really hard at it, and I know I can get into a good art program.
Not if you don't graduate high school first.
What do you mean if I don't graduate?
If you fail math, you don't graduate with your class.
I didn't realize.
That's why this initiative is so important. I am presenting to the school board at the end of the week to make Grade Week an annual program so that we can get more funding for stronger incentives.
So more perks for the A kids and more shame for everyone else.
I care about your future, Isa, and hopefully someday you'll see that.
Try music mode now on Tinder.
HEB delivers your Texas favorites in as little as 2 hours with lowered fees and more time slots than ever.
Ever heard the wisdom of the crowd theory? It says the collective brain power of a group is smarter than
one lone expert. Should we test that theory?
So, how did it go? Did you convince your mom to ditch grade week?
Not even a little bit. She said they might make it an annual thing. We need another plan.
Like what?
First day went well, don't you think?
Meet me at school tomorrow at 5 a.m. Oh, and we're left. The F kids are fighting back.
Can't believe you stole your mom's keys.
Hey, borrowed. So what's the plan? You ever heard of Robin Hood?
Wait, we get snacks too?
Well, feels illegal, but not questioning it.
What is this? Why is everyone eating our snacks? They won't for long.
Hey,
These are for A students. Awards must be earned.
those were on our table.
You did this.
Did what?
Oh, don't play dumb. No. Give him the badge. Careful. I know you did it. Show from the A students.
Why would I do that?
Because you're jealous of us.
Please, it takes more than cafeteria sushi to make me jealous. Try harder.
You're just jealous because I actually have a future. And you don't. I am disappointed in you both. You're a model student with a bright future. Petty fights should be beneath you. And you, my own daughter, sneaking into school before dawn, stealing my keys. This reflects poorly on you, on me, on the school. It's completely unacceptable. I should suspend you both.
Suspend? No, I can't have suspension on my records. Colleges will see that.
And I can't afford to miss class. If I miss math, I'm cooked.
You both will earn your way out of suspension. I have a presentation to the school board at the end of the week to tell you the success of grade week. You both will work to polish that presentation and provide a student perspective.
Together? Absolutely. No way.
You both work together or you're both suspended. Now get back to class.
Mr. Carter, I really need to bring my grade up fast. I'll do anything.
The best I can do is give you a worksheet for extra credit.
Great, I'll take it. Thank you.
Don't thank me yet. I'll need this back by Monday.
Tomorrow.
Have you ever had disciplinary action taken against you at school? I'd rather sit at the dumpster table the rest of the year. I guess I have no choice.
Where are the pictures of the Red Badge kids?
Well, it is a presentation about success.
If it's about success, then shouldn't we be highlighting the improvements of lower grade students?
Oh, wait, that's right.
We can't, because none of them have actually improved.
Okay, well, don't blame the program if kids don't even try.
I tried. Every day in math class, I tried. Wearing this stupid badge doesn't make me understand any of this any better.
Which one don't you get?
Why? So you can insult me more specifically? This one.
Okay, think of this equation like a scale. So whatever you do to one side, do to the other side. And our goal is that we're trying to solve for x. You want to isolate x by itself. So let's go ahead and subtract 8 from this side and subtract 8 from the other side.
Wait, that actually makes sense.
See, I told you, it's not really that hard.
Wow. You know, for 3 whole seconds, we're almost nice.
Go on.
Are you sure this is the work you want to turn in? Brielle, I think you're avoiding the assignment.
Because it doesn't matter. It's just a silly self-portrait. I have AP classes, assignments, exams to do. I just don't have time for any of this.
Art is just as important as any other thing you learn in school. It helps us understand how we feel.
Well, that's great and all, but college is kind of about GPA, not feelings.
Well, if you don't turn in a meaningful portrait, you may fail my class. That will most certainly affect your GPA.
Wait, fail? I can't fail.
Well, then I guess it's a good thing you still have time to turn that project around. He's not here.
Oh, hey, Hillary. Do you know where my dad is? Principal Hernandez. She asked me to give this big presentation to the school board meeting, and I was wondering that if my dad can maybe come and watch.
He's got another gig in the States.
Oh. But I thought he was going to be back this week.
Besides, honey, you know your dad doesn't really care that much about school stuff. I mean, I doubt he'd sit through some boring meeting. Ooh, gotta go. Dinner's in the fridge. I come in peace. No, listen. I told Ethan what you taught me in the library. The balance thing, he understood it, and so did two other kids. You helped people, accidentally, but still. Now, let me help you.
Me? No, I'm okay. I don't need any help. Thanks.
I heard you talking with Miss Reyes. I know you need a good grade on your self-portrait. Think of it like a trade. You help me with math, I help you with art. You both pass, you avoid suspension. Then we can go back to hating each other.
Okay.
So your problem is you're trying to make it perfect.
Yeah, it's graded.
It's a self-portrait. If it's perfect, it's probably lying, and Miss Reyes wanted something true. Tell me, what do you feel right now?
Great.
Annoyed? Good. What else?
Frustrated. Stressed. It's like if I do what?
You asked for protein, and we went big.
Welcome to Hoop Dreams. We are back with another phenomenal matchup. We have Deshaun versus DJ. Guys, get your popcorn, get your feet back. Let's see what they got for us. Deshaun, talk to me, bro. Talk to me, bro. I saw you at the Hoop Dreams tryout, and you stood out. You got this here, bro. You one of the ones. Talk to me. I feel like I'm loyal. I'm not just on the set. I'm trying to take the show. Okay, on my feet. Everybody get the same go. This is your Hoop Dreams debut, bro. Good luck, my bro. Okay, guys, we have DJ. Haven't seen you play yet, but I'm excited to see what you got for us. Talk to me. Do it. Man, a few words. Hey, guys, Hoop Dreams, North Carolina edition. Get your popcorn, get your feet back, and get ready for the show. Let's go! I've seen Deshaun play. I did a reaction video. He's super tough. He got that little visit. Jab work. And he can shoot it. Never seen DJ play. And then DJ can hoop. He can hoop. Yeah. Okay. So he's up. Oh, Sean put a chip on his shoulder. Jab work. Jab work. He's going up. Sir. Oh, this is example. The sideline distract you from the actual game. And that's what happened on that possession. So hopefully the shot can lock that in. We have a 3-0 game. DJ was calm demeanor. Real calm. Doesn't really show like emotion. Yeah, real calm. We have a 3-1 game, guys. 3-1. Okay. So free throw. 3-1. So guys, I think we have a 3-1 game. 4-2. 4-2. We have a 4-2 game, guys. Welcome in. Group 3. North Carolina edition. Yeah, DJ versus Deshaun. I like that new rule. That is actually counting 7 seconds. It's only like 7 seconds. When it's not, I like that. Definitely do like that. Every event that you go to, every city that you go to, there are players that's better than you. So you have to match energies. You have to rise to the occasion. Yes, sir. I'm telling you what's going on, bro. This group is all over this world. Wait, the hell on you. Boom! DJ. Deshaun, what's up, Deshaun? What we at? Oh, that's nice. It's going up. Gotta let him land. Shouts out to Deshaun. He just signed with Hoop Dreams. Congrats to you, my brother, for the opportunity that you have presented with.
He look hungry too.
Thanks, bro. A lot of these kids, man, all they need is opportunity. That's what I've been waiting on. Separation. That's what I've been waiting on. Some separation. That's what I've been waiting on. Some separation. Oh! Hey, slow down. Ronnie, we have a 9-8 game, guys. 9-8. Who is DJ? What is that like? No, ready.
Hey, listen, man.
They both playing physical. I don't know. I ain't got no dog in this fight. Ooh, that's a big shot. That's a big shot. That's a big shot. Fourteen 11, chat. 14-11. Defense. Great defense. Very good. 12-14. That's tough. That's tough. Yeah.
You just made it so fast. Oh, yeah, he talk. No. Gemini and Crow. Which of these is close to a park? Right, dog park. This might be the one. I should get a parrot.
Old Spice Gentleman's Body Wash. Full of vitamin B3.
I was kidding. First, you better gather
Get a Jimmy John's Burrito turkey taco with bacon, chips and a drink for $8.99 with a summer sandwich sequence. Try all natural turkey or smoked ham or Italian meats and cheese. An $8.99 meal at Jimmy John's. Oh, that's good.
Get this exceptional lease offer on this 2026.
Okay, guys, we are back. Yes, we are. Rock. Hey, Rock. We have a 17-12 game. What a strong drive. We have a 19-12 game. DJ is looking like the aggressor. DJ is getting buckets. He's getting to a spot. He's getting whatever shot he wants. Look at this.
He makes a lot of tough shots. Remember when I was playing him, he made a lot of tough shots.
Sean got to figure out his offensive strategy right now.
Nice.
We got to see one more play. When the lights out, game of runs. 21-12, game of 30. It's my first time really seeing Deshaun down by so many points. Let's see if we can figure it out.
It's a good shot right there. That's a confidence booster right there.
I'm telling you. There it is.
Oh,
There it is.
wow. That's a cheat code right there.
Yes. Either your stock goes up or your stock goes down. It's real simple, bro.
Uh-oh. You gonna let it fly.
I would.
Good defense. You bailed him out on that. You bailed him out on that way.
He is creeping back into the game. Yes, he is.
Gotta be able to make this free throw right here. You make this free throw, it should be big for him. Can you make it?
Oh. My goodness. Oh, my goodness.
You already know. So next week, and get it going.
DJ. Tough shot. My It's going up.
That's what I feel like.
Jab work, the separation. Oh,
I feel like that's a good call. He got the ball. He tried to go instantly. I think that's a good call.
24-21, check, 24. Deshaun over DJ. What you got for us, DJ? What you got for us? A mini? A straight ball? Yeah, straight ball.
Yo, they playing life, my nigga. They playing a life. Yeah, the show. Nice. Like, show it. Don't show it. Nice. He will stand the block. He went straight up, hands up just like this.
I don't know, it's not the game. I don't know. The way DJ been shooting that basketball mid-range, I don't know. There it is.
He did get into the deal. Let us know what's up with the street call. I think it was fine. He should have called the city. Yeah, that's a good lie. DJ.
God damn. Come on, man.
No sense. No fucking sense. DJ, you can read. I think LRCC.
So, okay, guys, wow. Welcome to Hoop Dreams, Dreams in Motion. DJ took the win over Deshaun. My goodness, what a phenomenal game. I guess we're going to talk to the winner right now. DJ, talk to me, bro.
Man, I ain't even gonna lie, bro, smooth. But it's a level to this, bro. I ain't even saying I'm a top dog, but like I said, you smooth. Not no showcase winner, bro. I'm above that, bro. I ain't no showcase. I ain't playing the showcase winner, bro. Nah, hell nah. But all respect to the hoop dreams coming out here, man. You know, they doing their thing, they're going up. They bring it back. I'm with it. Hey, but next time the first one up now.
I love it, bro. I love it. All I want to
Nature's Miracle. Permanently eliminate tough odors and stains at the source.
You gotta remember, Las Vegas isn't just a place you go. Every city has a game. This is ours.
Take the roof off this night.
Come on.
Trey Croft, yo, how's it feel to be back on the scene? Feel good, man. Feel good. What about you, Vaughn? You coming off a big victory? You feel me? What you looking to do today?
That's real big dinner.
Hey, yo! We got my brother Zay to the left, and we got Coy. How you feeling today, my brother?
Man, get in and out, 302 represent.
Shit, what about you?
This shit going.
Yo, listen, man, they serious on this side, and they laughing on that side. Let's see who gonna win. Let's get it.
They wore an African suit for a work.
Business evolves. Our program
And what's been the best game I've seen in a long time? We've seen this story. These are not scripted.
Welcome back to the next chapter. We're here with the first ever summit. Can y'all make some noise real quick? We got Bijan going up against Day Day. Bijan, this is your first appearance here on TNT, here at the Freedom Facility, a part of history, being a part of the summit. How do you feel today? And just a message to the fans.
That feels good, man.
Ooh. You've been constantly climbing into space. I think the last game's what, 6-0 on that?
Yeah.
Yep. So you've just been going crazy with everything. I'm really excited to see what you got today. I know a lot of the people that are in this building have come to events here before. They've seen Day Day play. They might not have seen you play in person yet. So just ready to see.
What does a $7 big deal meal get you at Sonic? The real question is, what doesn't it get you? Enjoy a full meal plus premium chicken bites for just $7. It's the $7 Sonic Big Deal Meal.
What is healthy?
For Rick, intermittent fasting.
For Aaron, further across the Sahara. For Brittany,
It's not ideal.
no.
There are a lot of things in what's healthy. What really matters is what's healthy for you. So Google Tap My Team to help create something new that adapts to your body, your goals, and your life.
On your court,
And all.
And what's been the best game I've seen in a long time? We've seen this story. These are not scripted.
welcome back to the next chapter.
I don't give a fuck.
bitch is talking about. I don't give a motherfucking fuck. Because it don't mean a damn thing.
We're here with the first ever summit. Can y'all make some noise real quick? We got Bijan going up against Day Day. Bijan, this is your first appearance here on TNC, here at the Freedom Facility. A part of history, being a part of the summit. How do you feel today? And just a message to the fans.
Yeah, feels good, man. Salute.
You've been constantly climbing into space. I think the last game was 6-0 on that. Yep. So you've just been going crazy with everything. I'm really excited to see what you got.
Prettiest girl in the whole room. She not the pretty smile. I'll be hanging around for a while.
Today, I know a lot of the people that are in this building have come to events here before. They've seen Day play. They might not have seen you play in person yet. So just ready to see you send a message to all these guys and hopefully continue to see you out here on the summit. But first thing is you got to get through Day. So Day, is that happening? Yeah, man. Come on. This game right now, you are currently 5-0 in your last 5 games. It's been a great year. The summit is a spot where I feel like guys like yourself really can stamp and show everybody what you're made of. And we gave you a very respectable opponent in Bijan. So any message to the fan before we get into this game?
Shout out to TNC, man. They always being innovative and coming up with new ways for guys to get games. And I'm always outside, type of games I want. So glad to be here. Let's go.
You guys that are watching at home, this first game is free here on YouTube. The only way you can watch the rest of the event is by going to tncleague.com. If you're a subscriber or you want to become a subscriber, you're going to get 50% off when you purchase the ticket, and your support will lead to more summits. But right now, we got the ball, we got the coin. I'm only going to flip it. I'm not going to turn it over. White ball. So, white. Anyways, Bijan's ball to start. Appreciate you guys. I'll pass it back to David C. Fruit. Love you all for supporting today. We've got a ton of support already. Probably one of the most amounts of support we've ever gotten for an event. So let's go.
And we are back. Day versus Bijan ready to take off right now. The very first game on the summit. If you subscribed and watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to TNC League. Purchase the tickets because we about to transition after this one. And we got a special. There you go. Yeah. What's going on with my 36 degrees? Yes. Oh my God. First possession of the summer. Let's see Dave's first possession. He gets downhill here. Oh, he is. Yep. Downhill Dave. Down here, mid-range pull up, starts us off here, Freedom Facility. Some energy in here. Yeah, I like it. So that's that. The Freedom Facility found a home in Ohio for the summit. Bijan gets fouled.
He speaks very well.
Yes.
That throw-out dribbles is super. Especially for guys that are fast.
Especially if you guys can shoot it, right? Yeah. How important is it when you have a crossover matchup like this and you're the guy coming over to the other platform? Is it important just to get off to a good start and see the ball go to the rim?
Yeah, I think there's a level of comfort that you're searching for.
That doesn't help. If somebody's in a left-hand runner, what? That's not going to help your comfort. One thing's I know, I live with that. I went to 30 points today. Oh, man. That would have dropped.
A left-hand step through. Prayer.
Bijan. Unicorner? No, it's been physical for Dede so far defensively. He's definitely touching. Yep.
Push up for 3. No good. Bijan's allowing him to walk into this. I think he's have to adjust after a bucket. Yeah, after the next one.
Bijan from deep short. Still trying to find his footing. Oh, yeah, rhythm.
Yeah, he's just get comfortable.
Straight downhill. Okay, they going to the line. So, how would you guard that? Or if you're Bijan, would you just eat up the space? And
you kind of have to. You kind of have to jab a little bit, play cat and mouse. You can't just allow him to eat your space and go directly at you, right? Because he has to leverage that just going full speed. So I think Bijan has to meet him at some point in time.
This may be the first time out of all the Bijan film that I've watched that he's had somebody start from half the way Dede has been doing it. It is an adjustment you have to make. Oh, Predator missed on line on first Predator. I think Bijan scratches you. Bijan going back to the line. That's great for him, though. As a shooter, as somebody trying to find a rhythm, gets in line, see one go, open your game up. Bijan Scratches now. 6-1 ball game. See if we could get going after that free throw make.
Oh my gosh. Oh, missed it.
And that's what I'm saying. It's a lot of day to get full head of steam. They kind of just stack this. It's going to be hard to anticipate that. Stop the beat. Here we go.
Strong take by Bijan.
Is there a question, man? We have, I know this is not TNC, of course, it's the summit, but when you have like a different situation or a different type of event, is there an adrenaline build even for a veteran in a situation like this?
It's hard to say,
given
that I'm not a veteran, but I would assume there's a small level of it, but it is just, he's not one of those guys that usually that affects.
Jackson Reese shooting.
The 17 day to go to the infamous step win. Another stop. Turnover.
Oh, spin cycle Euro.
Man, we have some good basketball starting off, very physical so far, especially for dating defensively, fellas. Early signs for Bijan, I do think he has to weather the storm of some sort, being that he's coming over to the TNC faction and playing one of TNC veterans. We can weather the storm here and get himself enough stops to get him going. It's going to be a ball game down the stretch.
Definitely. Yeah. And I think not even just coming to play a game here. I think it's also just playing a guy like Davis, who kind of gets undervalued and stuff. He's very good. He's a lot better than the past 6 years. That's exactly how you get going. Yeah. He doesn't just stop. He is like he's down all the way up now.
Yeah, Justin.
I'm curious, I would like to see Diddy bound out to the side, left or right. Because he can get outside of Bijan's physical frame to get downhill.
And as he starts starting in the triple threat more often, you'll see that.
Oh my gosh. Here comes. These rims aren't as forgivers.
The left wing today, here we go.
Bijan's over in this left wing. 6-3.
Touching at the shoulder. And then we got physical. Oh, that's out. Oh, wow.
He's on to it.
Yeah.
What do you do there, Sean?
I couldn't see the supporter in the front row blocking my vision there.
That's a decision. I like that decision.
I think there is the impression that this Bijan is getting away with a little bit of elbow tap there. But if you get away with it,
continue to do it. Yeah, this might be a long one for us. If you're on YouTube right now, we will be transitioning TNC League after this game. Get your tickets. Bull versus Keon main event. Oh, that's what
yeah, there's a lot of contact on that commission.
Hey, shoot it if he wants. Drag cross behind the back. Heavy. Good defense by Bijan.
Great defense.
Stayed down the whole possession.
Well, I'm not mad at him taking that first out one.
Yeah,
he did. He's losing.
Absolutely. Oh, he's skating. Oh my God. Oh, is this a steal right now?
This is crazy. 6-3 ball game here. They were up by 3.
Good decision. Gotta make him. He's going to.
It's a very important stretch for Bijan to stay in the game and don't get in his own head.
Oh, yeah. It's a big stretch for him. Ironically, speaking of getting in his own head, he did mention the Rams pregame. They kind of still, and they really are. Yeah. Then in for 3 off left. Got a little scoring down here. So they can pick up. Good defense. Fortunate tough shots, back-to-back pyramids. Exchanging threes. They ain't got hands to go. 9-3 ball game. Oh my, man. Oh, Trey? Trey? That's a triple kill. Big fake like that. Close it. Connect. 12-3.
What's the hot spot?
Yeah, that whole area over there is red. That whole area is red.
It's just like the one we're saying more than that. Yeah, it's where he really where he starts to really get hot here and tear on pages. And it's carried on to just his last performances. So
yeah. Question for Will was a tricky question. Bijan mentality. If you're Bijan right now, what are you thinking? How are you adjusting? What are you functioning? What are you gonna do out of this timeout?
If I'm Bijan, I mean, I'm not discouraged because we are playing on the same route.
Yeah.
So I see how he's figuring it out. I got to figure it out too.
Yeah,
that's all.
Yeah, for sure. And I just think he can be a streaky scorer at times. Like I've seen him run some off. So you know you're a great shooter. You know you're a great player. He's a veteran in his career. You know what I mean? It's not like he's young. Really. So it's like he has total confidence in himself. He can get back in this game in one run. Yeah, so he's fine. But I think it's.
The next generation of irons is here. ChicagoGolf.com.
Razor bumps? Get a shave with a touch of aloe. Venus Extra Smooth Sensitive.
Get more control with great tires at great prices. Firestone Complete Auto Care.
Celebrate getting the best sleep and savings during the 4th of July sleep event at the Living Spaces Sleep Center. Find top brands and enjoy deals on mattresses from Tempur-Pedic and Posture-Pedic. Upgrade for less and shop the 4th of July sleep event only at Living Spaces Sleep Center.
Living Spaces.
I think it's really just finding a way to contest day-to-day shots a little more and make it a little bit more difficult on him. As long as Bijan has that gap the way he does, I don't mind Diddy taking that shot every time. Trey Ball. Good shot. Here we go. Game started now. Connor and his Bijan. You see the mental. He sees a shooter, sees a 3 guy.
Absolutely.
The whole game up.
Absolutely.
12, just like that.
Welcome to the game, Bijan.
That's a superpower. It's a shooter. 7-0 run, fellas. Oh, Max ran for a free throw this game. Bijan finds his game right now, fresh out of that timeout. 7-on run, so make it 7-on run, 3 and 2 twos.
But you know, that's one of the things about playing Bijan. You do have to be in his face, in his pocket, because of his pick and quick draw. So that's what we're seeing here. He's able to draw fouls. That's
he's brilliant, completely.
I mean,
12 here. Ladies and gentlemen. He's like holding the ball out front. Just shooting it right into his hands. That's beautiful execution. That's crazy, man. What a phenomenal run. 12-0, first time in the timeout. Just when we thought, okay.
Wow. That was a different Bijan coming to that timeout. We just know that basketball things, you get that confidence. When you do have a superpower like Bijan, you can run them all. It's nothing. So, but if I'm Day-Day, I'm more aware now of that, right? So do I back up a little bit? I'm more aware. I think I've fouled 3 or 4 times, hand in the cookie jar. So that's going to create a little bit of space for Bijan.
Wow. Yeah. Like, that's they didn't obviously see the shot in this game, but like you said, yes, get out that shot clock, yes, to adjust based on what Bijan has been doing, drawing fouls. But go back to that left wing and spam. If it's there, take it. If not, get to the rim, especially you got that whole right side to work off of. Play basketball off that left wing.
Today's video is sponsored by PrizePicks, and it's always Next Chapter Moneyline, which means right now we're going to talk about a way you can get some money. There's a link in the description to download PrizePicks, and when you sign up and you use code NEXTCHAPTER, it's right here on the screen. What this is going to do for you, the first $5 line you place on PrizePicks, you're going to instantly get $50 put into your account. Just by using our fee. So it's really simple. Within 5, you get PrizePicks is the #1 way to play daily fantasy. You can literally 1,000 times your money, which means if you start today and you put your $5 lineup in, you have a chance at winning $5,000. In those sports, why not take a chance? And like I said, you're going to get $50 put right into your account as soon as you do that. Make sure to use code NEXTCHAPTER. Sign up right now. There's a link down below. I don't know what you're waiting on. It's literally a chance at massive amounts of money, and we're trying to hook you guys up. So, Next Chapter Moneyline, let's get back to that.
Oh, my Lord. He's moving way more confident than what he was in the first part of this game.
Shots there from Lawson. Takes it. Big shot. Tie game.
Phenomenal first game here in the summer. Dan Bijan set the tone. He shoots another one. First and 15, touch. Yeah. That's like his third, 4th one. I might come back to bite if he keeps turning that basketball over like that. For sure.
With that, you're going to see.
He didn't catch that ball there. What you see?
Sometimes time to tell that foul. Sometimes it might just be lost possession. I'm going to get that and see a bad one or whatever the case is, but it's part of it.
Yeah. If I'm Danny, I go downhill here. Tech legs. There we go. Legs, guys. Oh, missed.
Nice straight line there by Day-Day, though.
Day-Day has a sheet that he's 5'10".
No.
He's supposed to be 5'11".
5'11", 6.
Counter work.
He got the fall out of the way.
No one.
Out of the way for the game. Bijan to the line. Got the free throw.
Right wing is Bijan. That's tough. That's a tough.
It is. He's checking up from junior folly. Yeah. So a couple of those are going to happen.
Right.
Both of this.
He's gonna shoot this one, fellas. It's there. I love that mid-range when he gets to that stuff. He's like ball big shot here.
Red is up 17-16.
I mean, Seth, this is like freebies at this point.
Yeah, it is. But for Bijan, it's cheaper because we have to guard it from it. It's efficient to have some more.
I mean, this is how you not only get rhythm, but stay in rhythm.
Yeah. It's so good though.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Textbook dead led to a shot. Oh, on the hand battle.
There it is. 8 points away, fellas. It can happen now. It can happen now. It might happen now.
I mean, what do you do about that?
At that point, you just have to foul him off.
Oh, it's no.
You just foul him harder.
Great.
Oh my gosh, this is special.
Listen, man. Getting out of this time, I don't know what he can do defensively. I think he's just going to continue to touch the shot, but he has to go into that left-wing net stuff.
I think maybe 2 or 3 possessions.
Yeah.
I don't know any shots away from that. I don't know.
It's going to be interesting to see what Bijan does down the stretch of this game, if he can close, or if they right into this lead and go down and potentially get a win. But Bijan is definitely showing why he is one of the front runners of Rookie of the Year in a 1v1 series.
You got one more time out. I gave you that.
I think they did done a good job defensively, though. We got to shake his hand after 70 shots. So Messi,
let's go all up right there. Beautiful move by Bijan getting to that one to pull up past him. Then he was able to recover, though.
Like you're saying, I think getting downhill is his best part of the game.
You know, another foul.
It's probably a record.
He's got 25.
Yo, Steph, how you keep so healthy?
It's all on the wrist.
Come on, you can sit here.
It's all on the wrist.
So all you gotta say is
It's all on the wrist.
Your powers are going to start kicking in now.
See what scholarships you may qualify for. Visit gcu.edu/myoffer. You ask for protein and we went big. No long sugar, hello natural tea. Sometimes the messiest part of life is the schedule.
Yo, 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 yo. Infamous in the building. What's poppin', Playboy?
Not much, brother.
What's poppin'? Hey, man, where's everybody at?
He switched here on this 25 mark, 24 mark.
Who knows?
Capitalize.
Who knows?
Right here.
What's going on, man? Where's everybody at, man? Where's the gang at?
Trusted, jabbing.
Who knows?
Oh.
I didn't expect you gonna be on so early, man.
Yeah, they shifted my schedule around. Some people took vacation.
Oh, okay.
I guess when folks take vacation, my schedule shifts based
it's kind of like in a job, in a job where they highly value you at a high regard. They kind of make you a go to person. It's kind of like, for example, I got I got 40 employee of the months, right? I got 40 of them, and I didn't just win them. I won them in a blowout fashion. So out of 300 some workers, each employee of the month that I won it where it wasn't even close. So when you win 4 employee of the months unanimously, you become the SGA of the team. You become the Luka Doncic. You become the LeBron James, the Kobe, the Jordan. They put the ball in your hands and they say go. Whenever they need it. So when folks take vacation, they start shifting me around different departments, different schedules, different time frames. So yeah, that's why I'm off today. I was telling my family about that today. They're like, you usually work this day. I usually work to closing Friday, Saturday, but like I said, when you become, when you win an employee of the months, and you're not just winning them, you become the go to guy. They put the ball in your hands, and they say, "Hey, work."
Hmm.
You know.
So let me ask you a question. Did you get your raise that you were petitioning for? Did you talk about that?
Um, it's a long story that goes into that. It's a lot of stuff going on into that, man. I'm definitely not a quitter, but I definitely don't want to dive into it either because it's so many things.
Oh, okay, you don't have to get into it. Let's get into the
Yeah.
meat and potatoes, man. Let's talk about the real business. A lot of stuff to talk about. We got to start
Mhm.
with the Austin Reeves situation in LA. Man, I don't even know where to start with this, man. First of all, Austin Reeves did not. Listen, I'll say this. I can't be mad at another man for getting paid and getting his money because again, that's what you're supposed to do. I'm not mad at that. I'm just looking at it like Lakers, man. You're not serious about competing if you're giving Austin Reeves $185 million. I'm sorry. You're not serious. There's people that are serious about winning, and then there's people that pretend that they're serious about winning. When you make a move like this, it shows to me that you're not serious. You're playing around. Austin Reeves backcourt of Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves, who Luka Doncic is injury prone, and you're gonna run with an unathletic backcourt of these two niggas and expect to go up against the West, the West is basically brutal. You're in the West and you're gonna go up against the Spurs, the OKC, like teams like that who are defensive minded teams with Austin Reeves and Luka Doncic in your backcourt, and then you haven't even made any. Well, we'll see what happens during free agency, but you still haven't added any significant other pieces to the roster, and then you're looking at kicking out LeBron. I mean, I don't know, man. The Lakers are a funny style to me, man. To me, this is not a serious team that's serious about winning, and it's not a team that's serious about winning a championship. I think they're in it for just the money and the prestige that Austin Reeves bring with his sickle fans. But I don't know. Go ahead, tell me what you think, man.
Uh, I'm gonna say the same thing I've been saying since 2020. The Lakers did not care about winning. That's what it's
Facts.
been. The last
Facts.
time they cared about winning was 2020. Since then, they don't care, bro. We might have one of the worst front offices and infamous. What you're saying, I already knew it was going to happen before it happened. I knew they were going to sign Austin Reeves way before it happened. The Lakers were a circus. They've been a circus for a while now. When you bring in a head coach, right, that
Hmm.
is off the couch, he's what, a podcaster that drinks what, red wine or white wine? I don't know which one. But like, you bring a coach in that drinks red wine and he's a podcaster. That's how I knew it was a circus. You got Rob Palinka, who doesn't have any coaching experience. I mean, not Rob. Reddit. You got Rob Palinka, who been trash since 2020. You got Jeannie Buss and Walter. Two of them niggas both garbage. You got 41-year-old LeBron James, staying or not staying. You got Reeves and Luca. Neither one play any kind of defense. I'm just saying, bro, the Lakers have been a circus for a while. So I'm not surprised at what they're doing. They don't care about winning. All they care about is selling tickets, selling jerseys. They can care less about competing at a high level or winning. So you're not saying anything special. It's what's been going on since 2020.
I mean, you had guys like Isaiah Joe that got, I believe Isaiah Joe got traded today, if I'm not mistaken. I gotta double check. But you got guys like Isaiah Joe and who would have been a great pickup, great piece. You got all these guys moving around, and you decide to double down on stupidity. Like, listen, when you
Yeah,
figure out something is not, go ahead, go ahead.
because infamous, like what you're saying, like you gotta look at our front office and look at OKC's front office. Look at the other teams. We have the worst front office. I'm gonna say it right now, infamous. The Lakers have one of the worst front offices in the NBA. They do. When you bring in DeAndre Ayton, when you bring in an old washed up Marcus Smart, when you got 41-year-old LeBron and Austin Reeves on your team, when you bring in Luka Doncic, you trade away AD, who won you a championship ring. Think about that for a second. You traded a guy away that won you a ring. Like, I understand that AD's injury prone, he didn't stay healthy, but if you're gonna trade AD away, you don't trade him away for a guy that plays one side of the basketball. That's like trading Jordan for Charles Barkley. Barkley can score like Jordan, but can he defend like Jordan? Hell no. You get the drift what I'm saying? Like, you trade away a guy that plays both sides of the ball. He won the championship for you. You trade that guy away for a guy that plays one side of the ball. Then on top of that, you trade KCP and you got Austin Reeves trying to play his role when KCP's a two-way player. I can keep going, infamous. Like, you got rid of Dwight and you bring in DeAndre Ayton. Dwight Howard can play both sides of the ball. He's physical. DeAndre Ayton is not. Like, infamous, I could run down the whole motherfucking list. The Lakers are a shit show. And they've been that for a while now. They don't understand.
And you know what the most egregious thing is? You could have had Caruso, who even said on a podcast he would have taken less money to stay with the Lakers.
There's a whole lot of guys.
Yeah, but then you turn around and give Austin Reeves 185. Man,
there's a lot of moves, Lakers, infamous. You bring up Caruso, but you didn't bring up the fact they trade away a guy that plays two sides of the ball for a guy that plays one side of the ball. I'd rather have AD than Luka Doncic. That's just me. Like as much as AD gets hurt, I'd rather have a guy that I know he can give me 30 or 40 on one end, and on the other end, he gonna defend at a high level. The Lakers' defense was one of the best in the NBA when AD was on the team. Look it up. AD and LeBron and Reeves was a better combination than Luka, Reeves, and LeBron. That's a fact. The stats back it up.
I'm telling you right now. If you go into the regular season with these two guys in your backcourt, you guys are in for a rude awakening, man. I'm telling you right now.
That's the point. You trade away AD for Luka Doncic. I don't care if Luka can average 20 assists. He can't defend like AD. AD can give you the same 30. Am I wrong? AD can give you the same number of offense that Luka can give you, but he plays defense as well. That's the difference. You don't do that. You don't trade a guy that helped you win a ring. Infamous. That's like trading SGA away for Trae Young. I'm not even joking. You don't trade away a guy that helps you win a ring. If you're gonna trade AD, you trade him for Giannis. You trade him for SGA. You trade him for fucking Jalen Brunson. No. That's backwards. You trade him for Victor William Bamba. You get what I'm saying? If you're gonna trade away a two-way player, you better be getting another two-way player in return. You trade away a superstar that plays both ends for a superstar that plays one end. That was to me, that was the biggest mistake. Like not signing Caruso. Like, I agree with you there. Not signing Caruso, I understand that. But the biggest mistake to me was trading away AD for a guy that plays one side of the ball. To me, that's even bigger than losing Caruso. Let's keep that 100. We got to keep that 100 because AD, yeah, he get hurt, but guess what? Luka get hurt just like he do. And on top of that, AD plays what? Both ends, both sides. So I'm just saying, Evans, to me, letting AD go for Luka, to me, that was the stupidest trade in Laker history. You just don't do that. You just don't do it.
And here's the thing. Now you double down on stupid because here's a situation that people are not talking about. Going into you're basically competing against yourself. I know there was this whole. Did you hear any rumors about, if Austin Reeves is available, all these teams are just waiting in line to pick him up? There was no team waiting in line to pick this dude up. So you're basically bargaining against yourself. That whole rumor about Detroit wanting him, I don't believe it. I think that was just a rumor they put out just to muddy the water. But think about it. You're bargaining against yourself. There's no team out there that said, man, as soon as Austin Reeves becomes available, we got to get him. There was no teams lining up to get this dude. That whole Chicago already came out and said that whole rumor about them wanting him was a lie. They said that's not true. Chicago management came out and said, nope, that's not true. Like, I'm telling you, man, like, you basically doubled down on stupid for a guy that nobody wanted. Typically, I would have just let his ass walk. Seriously. Like, it's a waste of money, resources, asset. You might as well giving that money back, giving it to LeBron, because at least LeBron has earned it. Man, I would have given that money to LeBron, and I wouldn't have given him that much. Like, you could have bargained something else. There's no team that's going to say, "Damn it, I'm going to pay him more than the Lakers are going to pay him." Get out of here, man. The guy has no accolades, no accolades. Tell me one accolade that Austin Reeves has. I can't think of one. Was he ever a player of the month? Was he ever an all-star? Was he ever a player of the week? I don't know. I'm just going off the top of my head. So he's never a player of the month, never a player of the week. No all-star achievements. This man has zero on his resume. Has nothing on his resume. And then you double down and paid him that amount of money where he comes up short like a midget masturbating every year in the playoffs. He comes up short. Averages 12 points, 2 assists, three assists or some shit like that. Like, come on, man. Like, yo, the Lakers deserve everything. The karma's gonna hit me. Yo, the karma's gonna hit me.
Triple down. Infamous, you should have said triple down. Because trading with AD, to me, that was the first one. What you just said, you should be saying they fucking triple down. Because once again, you trade away a guy that plays both ends, helped you win a championship ring. That's like trading away Jalen Brunson for fucking Trae Young. Trae Young is great, but he ain't help you win like Brunson just did. You don't trade away a guy that helped you win a ring. The Lakers are the only team. Infamous. Name me another team outside of the fucking Milwaukee Bucks who didn't trade Kareem. I'm trying to think. What other team traded away a guy that helped them win a championship? We're not talking about a role player. We're talking about a superstar on the team that helped the team win a chip. I think the Lakers are the only team in the NBA history to trade away a guy that helped them win a championship ring. That tells you the Lakers are a fucking circus. You don't do that. You don't trade away a guy that helps you win, bro. That's like Golden State trading Steph Curry. You're fucking stupid. You don't do that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. That's like Boston trading away Jalen Brown.
Yeah.
I ain't
I mean,
go ahead.
I listen. I don't support. I didn't support the whole AD trade, but if you're gonna trade AD, you trade him. You trade him for a better package. Like I'm not saying you trade AD. Let me get that straight. I'm not saying you trade him, but I'm saying if you're deciding to trade him, I wouldn't have traded him for Luca. That's all I'm saying. I believe
I'm not trading for Luca. That was not a good trade.
Luca. That was not a good trade.
That I'm not doing.
What they should have done, actually, they should have done. You know what? Go Mike. You know what they should have done? They should have done what Thing did when they traded Giannis, because that's the next thing I want to talk about. Look what they got. You trade for draft picks. You trade for multiple players, draft picks, and additional. You get a bigger package.
Infamous, I'm a disagree with you. And I'm gonna tell you why. The Lakers have the fucking Lakers have never shown you at any point they know how to draft well. Like for example, Infamous, how did the Lakers get Magic Johnson? Do you know?
That's true.
When they got Magic, they had to trade with somebody else. I think they traded with I don't know who they traded with. They traded somebody else to get Magic. They went and stole Kareem from a whole different team. When they got Shaq, was Shaq drafted by the Lakers? No. They went and stole Shaq from a whole other squad. They traded who? Larry Diva and somebody to get Kobe from the Hornets. When they got LeBron came from where? He came from a whole other organization. When they got Infamous, come on now. When they got AD, they traded with who? They traded with the Pelicans to get AD. So I'm just saying, like Infamous, the Lakers are showing you they don't know how to do what? Develop young talent. So, like, if you make that trade and you get draft picks, do I trust the Lakers to develop them draft picks? No, not at all. Not even a little bit.
That's a fair comment.
You can build
I can't argue with that. That's a fair comment.
You gotta think about it. Over the Lakers' history, you know what I'm saying, Infamous? They have never shown that they can develop anybody. When they got Dwight Howard, they didn't draft Dwight. They didn't draft McGee. They didn't.
They're like the problem, because here's the thing. I don't know if they realize this, but I think one of the bigger problems with the Lakers, right? They've never been a team that's basically, what's the word I'm looking for? That's gone through a rebuild. They've never gone through a rebuild, right? And I'm going to be honest with you. They're never going to be a good team until they do a keyword. I'm going to say it slowly. A keyword. They're never going to be a good team until they do a proper rebuild. Because I know they tried it when Kobe retired. They tried to do it, but they didn't stick with it. You see what I'm saying? I believe, in my honest opinion, after Kobe retired, they stuck with that rebuild. I think they would have been a better team consistently going forward, in my honest opinion. But they abandoned it halfway through.
Not being able to Infamous, one thing you leave out, not being able to develop players is one of the biggest problems. I don't give a damn who you draft. If you don't know how to develop players, that's a problem. Like how do you rebuild when you can't develop your players? That's a problem.
I don't trust JJ Redick. I don't think JJ Redick knows how to develop players. You're right.
But the Lakers, but Infamous, when have the Lakers ever showed you, since you've been alive, you was alive when he had Magic, the Lakers have never shown at any point they knew how to develop anybody. This goes way before.
You make a good point, because the last player they actually developed was Kobe. That's it.
No. Kobe Bryant was not drafted. No, hold up now. He was not drafted by the Lakers. He
No,
wasn't.
I know, but they traded for. Technically, yes, you're right. But I'm saying they did trade for him in draft night. They did get him. But I'm saying what I mean
They
by
had to
develop.
go get him. They didn't get him straight up. They went to another team.
Yeah,
To
I
get
know
him.
he was Charlotte. He was Charlotte's pick. They traded him. Yeah, I
Gotta
get
be
that.
honest,
I get that.
friends. They don't know how to. They don't know how to draft a player and develop that player. They got to make trades. When they got Magic, they traded. They traded up in the. They traded in the draft to get Magic. They traded in
Yeah,
the
but I'm
draft to
saying
get.
he spent.
Like, come
No,
on.
the reason why I say but here you gotta listen to me carefully. The reason why I say that they developed him is because they traded to get him on draft night, but he retired as a Laker. So his whole career and his whole his whole tenure, sorry, not tendency,
They gotta
tenure
make trades for
was
infamous.
with the same team. So
They need
he didn't
trades.
go to any other team. So you have to give them credit for developing him because he remained a
They gotta
Laker.
make trades, infamous. They have to make trades. The whole point I'm making
No,
is the Lakers
but
have
it
to
was
make
on
trades.
draft. The trade
They
was on
traded.
draft night.
They still
So
traded though. They still
technically,
had the trade. Why you
yeah,
gotta
but
trade to get
technically,
players?
yeah, but I'm saying the
That's
trade
the
was on
point.
draft night. So technically, he was a Laker from the beginning.
He
It'd be
was not.
different.
He was not. Once again, Kobe Bryant was not. If we're being honest, you're trying to give credit to the team and say they developed Kobe. That's false. Kobe Bryant,
How is that false?
here's why it's false. Kobe Bryant had superior work ethic. That guy lived in the fucking gym. He lived on working on his jump shot, his handles, all that. Kobe Bryant's dedication, his hunger to win, his hunger to be great, that alone made him great. Like we can't just act like fucking team made him great.
No,
Kobe
I'm not
Bryant.
giving. No. I get that, but no, I'm not giving the Lakers all the credit for developing
They don't get
Kobe.
no
But I'm
for his
saying,
team. He could have
but
played anywhere. Kobe Bryant could have put on anybody's team, and he would have been just as great. Would he have
no,
five
I'm not gonna.
rings?
No,
No.
we can't. No, I'm not doing
I'm
that.
not
No,
saying
we're
he would
not
have
doing that.
rings. I'm not saying he
I'm
would
not
have
doing that.
championships.
That's not
Bro, I'm not
right.
saying that Kobe Bryant infamous. I'm not saying that Kobe Bryant will have rings or MVPs elsewhere. What I'm saying is Kobe Bryant's work ethic, his dedication, his hunger, that would not change. If he's playing for the Hornets, he would still be a motherfucking all-time great. He would still get in the motherfucking Hall of Fame because his work ethic
No,
is
yeah,
just
we
as
don't.
good.
No,
Like
we
what?
don't do ifs and buts, man. I don't like when people do that kind of stuff.
You're
You can't
saying some
say that.
bullshit, but no, hold the fuck up. You're saying some bullshit on Kobe Bryant name, bro, and that's my whole
Oh
shit.
my
So
gosh.
what it is. That nigga was that nigga, bro. You could put Kobe Bryant on anybody fucking team, and he would still be fucking great. Kobe Bryant was a dog, my nigga. Kobe Bryant was not a fucking role player. Like y'all niggas be tripping. Kobe Bryant was that nigga. Like what? You can put him on anybody
Yeah,
fucking team, and he'd
I'm not
still be
gonna get into
great.
this argument.
What are we
Let's
talking
move on.
about?
Let's move
What are
on
we
to
talking
Giants
about? Do
because
you know shit about Kobe? You don't
yeah,
know
but he
shit
was a
about Kobe,
role
nigga. You don't know
he
shit
was a
about Kobe.
role player to Shaq. What are you
Kobe
talking?
Bryant, Kobe
Anyways, let's
Bryant,
move on. Let's move on.
Shaq is one of the most dominant. Shaq is arguably a top 2 or 3 big man all fucking time. Like, what are we talking about? You're comparing
Right.
Kobe
So
Bryant to fucking Shaquille O'Neal, who's probably the
yeah,
most
but he was
dominant
a
big
role
man.
player.
That's
He
the
was
one.
a role
He was
player
not,
at that time,
bro.
though.
But what begin Kobe Bryant's work ethic? You're trying to say the Lakers. You're trying to say out your mouth that the Lakers developed Kobe, and that's
I never
false.
said that. No,
Kobe Bryant had work ethic.
never
Kobe
said
Bryant had
that.
the ability. Kobe Bryant was not no ordinary, but influence. Your problem is Kobe Bryant was not no ordinary player on the fucking Lakers. He was a fucking animal. That nigga had drive. He had dedication. He had hunger. Bro, Kobe Bryant had something in his chest none of these niggas now do. That nigga had something in his fucking chest that a lot of players don't got. And that's dog, that's dedication, that's hunger to win, hunger to be great, all that shit. You could put Kobe Bryant on any fucking team and he would have been just as great. Would he have 5 rings? Probably not. Would he have MVPs? Probably not. But he's still gonna play defense at a high level. He still would average 30 or 40 points a game. Let's not do that. You can put Kobe Bryant on anybody's team. He's still giving them 30. He's still giving them 40. He's still giving niggas 50. The fuck? The fuck? Who in the NBA gonna stop that? That nigga would still be giving niggas 50 on any fucking roster. You could have put Kobe anywhere. He would have gave niggas 50 and 40 every fucking season, bro. Let's not do that shit. He still would have had 12 first team all defenses. He still would have had multiple all-star teams. What are we talking about? What are we fucking talking about? He still might have got an MVP playing elsewhere. The fuck? Kobe Bryant was not an ordinary ass nigga. You're trying to talk like Kobe Bryant was a random ass nigga. And he wasn't, bro. You're trying to put him in the category with fucking Caruso and Austin Reeves, and that's some bullshit. Kobe Bryant was a fucking animal. An animal. Talk about dog. Talk about you can't guard me, nigga. Talk about I'm gonna put my nutsack on your fucking face, nigga. Talk about I'm gonna cross your ass up, leave you in the dirt, my nigga. But you tripping. You fucking tripping. I'm a diehard Kobe guy, and I ain't gonna stand for this shit, man. I believe fucking Kobe Bryant, but that boy was a problem. That nigga had that dog in him. He had that fucking dog in him. You tripping? You must don't know shit about basketball talking like that. That nigga couldn't play anywhere, and he was doing the same motherfucking shit. He might not have the range or the success, but that nigga gonna be in the Hall of Fame any fucking where. Cause he was that great. Kobe Bryant was that nigga. Like, you tripping. You tripping. You must don't know the game well. Kobe Bryant was a fucking problem. Like I don't know what you drink, smoke, did, but you must don't know shit about the Black Mamba. That nigga was a fucking problem. Talk about dog. Talk about dedication, or hunger. Man, fuck out of here with that. That's some stupid shit.
This is why you can't have honest conversations about players who are fanboys about certain players, man. That's why I just left it alone. You can't have honest conversations because people get sensitive about things. So I'm just gonna leave it alone, man. Just gonna leave it alone. Just gonna leave it alone. I'll be back.
But yeah, man, I'm back in the build, man. I fell out for a second, man. That dude Evan was trolling. He was on some troll shit, man. Evan don't know what he was talking about. I don't know if he was drinking, smoking. I don't know. Evan might have been drinking, y'all. I apologize to the people, man. That nigga might have been drinking. And I understand guys drink and stuff, and guys get drunk and they get we apologize. You know what I mean? I didn't know he was drunk. Cause he was saying some drunk statements. Cause Bryant was that nigga, man. Like niggas get that shit twisted. The Black Mamba will never be played with. You don't play with the Black Mamba, man. Kobe Bryant, different breed, homie. Oh damn, bro. Motherfuckers ain't say, excuse me, bitch ass nigga.
There are a lot of opinions on what's healthy. Does it really matter?
Craig Daniels, an auto mechanic, was spending time with his family one evening when he opened his wallet. What he saw made his chest tighten. Hardly any money inside. Bills were due, and the weight of responsibility grew heavier. He didn't say anything to his wife, but the thought followed him into the next morning. As Craig left for work, something outside his apartment caught his eye. A piece of paper was pinned to his door. He walked closer and froze. It was an eviction notice, a legal warning that shook him deeply. His home, his family's shelter, was now at risk. He pushed himself to keep going, heading to the garage where he worked. Craig started his day as usual, wiping sweat and grease from his face as he bent over engines. But soon a coworker approached and told him that Doug, his boss, wanted a word. Craig walked into the office, and moments later walked out jobless. The news hit like a hammer. He had been let go. Depressed and defeated, Craig wandered the streets. He pulled out his phone and called his wife, telling her he would be home late. He claimed he was meeting a friend for drinks, but in truth, he just couldn't face going home right away. That night, Craig stepped into a bar, sat at the counter, and tried to drown his worries. Out of nowhere, a hand grabbed him roughly from behind. Startled, Craig turned and saw Vince, an old friend he hadn't seen in 5 years. Vince laughed loudly, admitting he was only joking by pretending to be a thief. Craig was both relieved and surprised. Vince insisted on paying for his drinks, but Craig said he needed to leave. Vince wouldn't allow it. It's been 5 years. I'm not letting you run off now, Vince said with a grin. They sat together, and Vince noticed how tense Craig looked. You seem troubled, Vince asked. Craig opened up about being married now, with a 15-month-old son named Keenan. He showed Vince a picture of the boy, and Vince's face lit up. But Craig also admitted that his life wasn't easy. He had just lost his job that very day, and he needed $4,500 to cover his problems. Vince thought about it, but shook his head. I don't have that kind of money. Once I broke a man's arm for $80 in front of his daughter. Can you imagine doing something like that? Craig didn't respond, instead excusing himself to use the restroom. Inside, he briefly noticed a strange-looking man, but ignored him. When he returned, Vince was sitting with a wealthy couple, Violet and Colin. Colin explained it was Violet's birthday, and that's why they were out celebrating. The bartender, Corinne, brought a bottle of wine and said it cost $300. Without hesitation, Colin handed her the money. Vince introduced Craig as his old friend, and Violet happily snapped a picture of all of them together. The couple then shared a story about betting on someone at the bar. Colin said he and Violet had placed a small wager on whether a man staring at the bartender would make a move. Violet had won. Laughing, Colin suggested they all play some games of their own. The first dare was simple. Whoever finished their glass of wine first would win $50. Vince jumped in without hesitation, gulped it down, and won. He handed the money to Craig, but Colin insisted it belonged to Vince, and Vince quickly took it back. In the next round, Craig managed to win, though Vince made it seem like he let him. The games escalated. Colin pointed to a very drunk girl in the club and offered $200 to whichever of them could make her angry enough to slap them. Vince told Craig to go first. Nervously, Craig tried, but when he returned, the girl hadn't slapped him. Vince teased him, then walked up to her himself. He joked around, made an offer, and in the end, the girl smacked him across the face. Vince returned grinning, holding his prize money. As the night went on, Colin began using drugs openly. Craig tried to stop him, suggesting he at least go to the bathroom, but Colin refused, saying the restroom stank. When the bartender Karen told him drugs weren't allowed, Colin slipped her enough money to keep her silent. Vince joined in, and then suggested they head to another club. Colin agreed, but Craig said he was going home. Vince pressed him to stay, and Colin added, "Don't spoil Violet's big night." Craig reluctantly stayed. At the next club, Colin raised the stakes again. He pulled out $200 and dared them to slap a girl inside. Craig refused outright, warning Vince not to do it. But Vince, eager as ever, rushed off and slapped the girl, sparking chaos. They all ran out laughing. Craig had had enough. He told them it was nice meeting them, but he was heading home for good. Just then, a guard approached. Colin smirked and offered Craig $500 if he punched the guard first. Hesitant but desperate, Craig swung. The guard retaliated and knocked him out cold. When Craig woke up, he found himself in unfamiliar surroundings. His pockets, however, now held cash. Confused, he realized he had been taken to Colin and Violet's house. He walked out of the room and overheard Vince talking to Colin. They explained that after he fainted, they had cleaned him up and brought him there before the cops could get involved. Both men praised Craig for being the first to hit the guard. Colin smiled and said Craig would never forget this night, even though they might never see each other again. He admitted he had always wanted to do something wild like this. Craig, however, only wanted to go home. Colin offered him painkillers, saying his house had enough medicine to be called a pharmacy. Injured and uneasy, Craig sat quietly on the couch. Violet approached him gently, cleaned his wounds, and took a picture of him, promising she would send it later in another room. Colin showed Vince something mysterious, something that impressed Vince greatly. Meanwhile, Violet continued tending to Craig's injuries. She asked if he had ever been hurt badly before. Craig recalled once breaking his foot while skateboarding, but said he couldn't remember the pain. Violet shared her own memory. When she was little, she admired older kids skating and fell in love with one boy she watched often. One day that boy was hit by a car. Violet didn't see the accident, but heard the crash. She grew emotional as she spoke, tears filling her eyes while she cared for Craig.
Escape to a paradise that doesn't require a plane ticket. With Ornitos, the tequila de todos.
Vivo is 5 times more attractive to fly.
A new ride you can't wait to show off. How it should be. Hyundai Elantra and Hyundai Kona.
Get 2,000 customer cash or lease a Hyundai Elantra for $209 a month. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today.
You can't help but care. And that care can become your career. Visit ultimatemedical.eu.
Colin handed Craig some medicine, telling him it was just painkillers from the pharmacy and safe to take. After that, Colin led Craig and Vince up to the room. While Colin talked with Craig, Vince, who stood close by, smirked and suddenly urinated on Craig's shoes. Craig's face turned red with anger, but Colin and Vince only burst into loud laughter, mocking him. Furious, Craig left for the bathroom to clean himself up, and Vince followed him inside. Craig was frustrated and snapped at Vince, but Vince leaned closer and whispered something darker. He said he was planning to rob the couple, claiming Colin kept a safe full of cash that was left unlocked. Craig stared at him in disbelief and called him insane, saying he only wanted to leave the house. Vince, however, kept pushing. He told Craig that Colin had $150,000 in cash and tried to convince him this was the chance they needed to start a new life. Craig shook his head and refused again. He said it was too dangerous, especially since Colin and Violet had already seen their faces. If they robbed them, the police could easily track them down. But Vince argued back, insisting Colin wouldn't dare call the police because of the drugs he was keeping. Vince warned Craig that if he didn't want to join, he should just leave. Torn between fear and desperation, Craig finally gave in. He reluctantly agreed to the plan. Vince told him to take control of Violet while he handled Colin. The two men carried out their plan. Vince grabbed Colin by the collar and demanded that he open the safe and hand over the money, while Craig held Violet. Colin calmly replied that the safe wasn't locked, but he couldn't remember the combination. Vince ordered Craig to check it himself. Craig went to the safe, opened it, and found bundles of cash. He came back carrying the money. How much is in there? Vince demanded. I didn't count it, Craig admitted. At that moment, Craig noticed a framed photograph on the wall. It showed Colin receiving an award in martial arts. His stomach dropped. Before Vince realized what was happening, Colin used his martial arts skills to disarm him with ease. At the same time, Violet pulled out a gun. The tables had turned. Colin and Violet now had full control. Surprisingly, Colin didn't seem furious. Instead, he laughed lightly and said they should let bygones be bygones. He told Vince and Craig to forget what had just happened because it was Violet's birthday, and he didn't want to spoil it. Then Colin revealed something strange. The money in the safe was actually set aside for them. The unlocked safe had been part of a plan. Colin explained that they could walk away at any time, but if they wanted the money, they had to play a game. Vince's eyes lit up. What kind of game? He asked. Colin smiled and announced the first dare. Whoever could hold their breath the longest would get $500. As Craig prepared himself, his phone rang. It was his wife. She told him she had already spoken to Enrique, the man Craig had lied about meeting. She wasn't angry, she said, but wanted Craig to come home so they could solve things together. Craig promised her he would be home in 45 minutes and asked her to trust him. Before Craig could hang up, Colin pulled out $200 and handed it to him, telling him to hang up right away. This made Vince furious, accusing Colin of being unfair with the money. Still, Craig went ahead with the dare, holding his breath as long as he could. Colin and Violet clapped for him, cheering him on, which only made Vince even more jealous. In a desperate move, Vince punched Craig in the stomach, forcing him to lose. Colin calmly told Craig that Vince hadn't broken any rules because Colin never said there were rules in the first place. For the next challenge, Colin told them about his neighbor's dog. The dog often ruined his lawn and ruined his new shoes. Colin wanted revenge. He told Vince and Craig that whoever threw dirt on the neighbor's house would win money. The two argued, but in the end, Craig completed the dare first and won. The next dare pushed things further. Craig was told to spend intimate time with Violet. If he did, he would receive $4,500, enough to pay his rent for the month. Craig accepted and won the money, but Vince was furious. He felt humiliated, betrayed, and angry at the unfairness of the game. Guilt also consumed Craig, who regretted what he had done to his wife. Shaken, he left the game, deciding that the money he had was enough to buy time before facing eviction. Violet, however, looked hurt when Craig walked out. She had started to develop feelings for him, and without his presence, the game lost its purpose. It had been designed to entertain her, and now she withdrew into silence. Vince, desperate to keep playing, offered to do anything Colin asked. Colin smiled and gave him a shocking dare. Cut off his own pinky finger for $25,000. Vince hesitated but seemed ready to accept when suddenly Craig returned. Craig admitted that the $4,500 wasn't enough. He needed more money. He offered to do the dare himself for a smaller amount. The two friends went back and forth, lowering their offers until Craig agreed to cut off his pinky for $15,000. Vince, furious but powerless, watched as Craig sliced off his finger and won again. The next challenge was even more disturbing. Colin brought out a cooked dead dog. The animal had died while trying to eat Craig's severed finger. The dare was simple. Whoever finished eating first would win. Lemonade is changing the shows. Starting with
The voice behind Streetwalk on WNKW, a radio show built around the strange pulse of New York City. To her, the city is changing so fast, it's starting to lose more than buildings and neighborhoods. It's losing stories, memories, and the quiet sense that people still belong to each other. That fear has lived inside Erica since childhood.
ever since she lost her pet turtle and came to believe that when you lose something you truly love, some piece of you goes missing with it. At work, her boss, Carol, tells her a company called Brave wants her for a television segment, but Erica shuts it down immediately. She has no interest in becoming a face on a screen. Her place is behind the microphone, as a voice people carry with them while they move through the city.
Face, just face. Shows your website. People can just find them.
Like, yo, like, you thought I'd kill you? Maybe I'm not, nigga, but maybe you're having a lot. Check me out, do everybody like, you thought I'd
I used to play football, that's why I'm so rich. I'll be on TV talking sports like this. I be like, skill. I mean, skill.
New school, wild out. Be dancing. In my life, I done seen some crazy things in the streets. I was too light skinned to be back in the heat. Hustling, so I had to do what I can. But then I lost the sequel to Iron Man. What's up, my number one going down? It's the side to the dog in the fight. It's the side to the fight. Give me the This one, give me company, I need to get
Ladies first. And I do mean ladies because there's a group of you. So it's like.
But Charlie, it's cool because, you know, I do love a man that can fight diabetes, fat boy.
I bet you got a spice hand flavored instant on your car mirror.
You're the only one I know that tried to eat off the fork in the road.
Milkshakey. Hey, with a milkshakey, I bet you took Sweet Baby Ray's to a Denver Nuggets game. One milkshakey.
Charlie Clips rap songs to babies when he breastfeed them.
Let me get into it real quick. Please. Because I got something I want the world to know. Whole season I've been feeling y'all waiting for this time to tell you. So let's just quit this joking. Let's go to the back. Just make some fat ass kids.
All right.
All right. Hitman team so white they adopted a kid from Africa.
Well, I got these big ass jeans on. Me and the whole crowd waiting on you to somewhere in there.
Hitman team so white they say they had black friends.
Listen. The jeans singing, girls, they got like that. men think so white they get mad when they talk to movies.
One shit. One of them jeans look like they came with a set album in it.
Your sex tape get more numbers than your music.
Big ass jeans. We stop playing your man safely.
Hitman Team So White, they took him to see Hamilton.
Let's give the people what they're trying to say. No fault, give me Nicholas Cannon. I want you there. Fabulous. He's boss. I like my job. He wins either way. Fabulous show, right? Right.
Family's got the knees of a runaway slave.
This kid ain't called Goddamn. Goddamn, you just.
Turn hot boy summer into hot man.
The conference room on the 42nd floor had floor-to-ceiling windows that overlooked the city, but Alexander Hartwell wasn't looking at the view. The March wind cut through downtown Philadelphia like a knife, carrying the last bitter breath of winter across the intersection where Sarah Williams stood with her 18-month-old twins strapped to her chest in a worn baby carrier. In her cold, numbed hands, she held a basket of flowers, daisies, carnations, and roses she'd bought wholesale that morning with the last of her money, hoping to sell them to commuters heading home from work. Emma and Ethan, her blonde-haired twins, pressed against her for warmth, their small faces red from the cold, their eyes heavy with the exhaustion that came from spending hours outside in weather no toddler should be exposed to. Sarah had dressed them in every piece of warm clothing they owned, layering their small bodies until they could barely move. But it wasn't enough. It was never enough. Flowers! Fresh flowers, Sarah called out, her voice hoarse from hours of shouting over traffic noise. $5 a bunch. Beautiful flowers. Commuters hurried past without making eye contact, their own lives too busy, their own problems too consuming to notice. The young woman with 2 babies, selling flowers in the cold. Some glanced at her with pity, others with judgment, making assumptions about her choices, her circumstances, her worthiness of help. Sarah was 24 years old, though she looked older, worn down by 2 years of single parenthood, poverty, and the constant grind of trying to survive. She'd been a college student once, studying nursing, planning a future. Then she'd gotten pregnant, and her boyfriend, the twins' father, had disappeared the moment he'd heard the news. Her parents, religious conservatives who'd made their expectations clear, had disowned her for getting pregnant out of wedlock.
So Sarah had done what she had to do. She'd dropped out of school. She'd worked whatever jobs would hire a visibly pregnant woman. She'd given birth to twins in a charity hospital, alone except for a kind nurse who'd held her hand through the worst of it. And she'd been fighting to keep her head above water ever since. Daycare for twins cost more than she could earn at minimum wage jobs. The waiting list for subsidized childcare was 2 years long. Family support didn't exist. Government assistance covered some expenses, but never enough. And the bureaucracy was a nightmare to navigate while caring for 2 infants. So Sarah had gotten creative. She'd learned she could buy flowers wholesale and sell them at intersections during rush hour. On a good day, she could make $50 or $60, enough for diapers. Formula, the cheapest groceries. On bad days, she made nothing and went home to their tiny studio. Apartment with unsold flowers wilting in her. Basket and no money for dinner. Today was shaping up to be a bad day. She'd been out here for 3 hours and had sold exactly 2 bunches of flowers. $10. Not even enough to cover what she'd paid for the flowers wholesale, let alone feed her children. Emma started crying, a tired, hungry, cold cry that broke Sarah's heart. Ethan joined in, his small voice creating a chorus of misery that made passing commuters walk even faster, eager to escape the uncomfortable reminder of suffering. "Shh, babies, it's okay," Sarah murmured, bouncing slightly to soothe them. "We'll go home soon, just a little longer. Mama needs to sell a few more flowers and then we'll go somewhere warm." But the twins were past the point where bouncing and reassurance helped. They were cold and hungry and done with being outside. Their crying escalated and Sarah felt tears burning her own eyes. She was failing them. Every day, in 100 different ways, she was failing her children. A car horn made her jump. She'd unconsciously drifted too close to the curb, and a driver was gesturing angrily at her to move. Sarah stepped back, murmuring an apology the driver couldn't hear, clutching her flower basket tighter. That's when the black Mercedes pulled up to the curb directly in front of her and stopped. The car was the kind Sarah had only seen in magazines. Sleek, expensive, probably worth more than she'd earn in 5 years. The tinted window rolled down, revealing a man in his early 40s. Handsome in that polished way wealthy people often were, wearing a charcoal suit that probably cost more than Sarah's monthly rent. He was looking directly at her with an expression Sarah couldn't quite read. Not pity exactly, but something deeper. Recognition, perhaps. Understanding. "How much for all the flowers?" he asked, his voice carrying clearly despite the traffic noise. Sarah blinked, certain she'd misheard. "I'm sorry?" "All of them. Every flower in your basket." "How much?" Sarah looked down at her basket. She had at least 15 bunches left. At $5 each, that would be $75. More than she'd hoped to make all day. $75, she said hesitantly, waiting for him to laugh or drive away or reveal that this was some kind of cruel joke. Instead, he reached for his wallet and pulled out a $100 bill. "Keep the change, but I'd like to talk to you for a few minutes. Would you get in the car where it's warm? You and your babies look frozen." Every instinct Sarah had screamed that getting into a stranger's car was dangerous, but she looked at her twins. Emma's face was blotchy from crying. Ethan's lips looked almost blue despite his layers of clothing, and she made a decision. They needed warmth, even if just for a few minutes. "Okay," she said quietly. The man got out of the car and came around to help her. Up close, Sarah could see he was older than she'd initially thought, probably mid-40s, with brown hair graying at the temples and kind eyes that held their own shadows of pain. "I'm Michael Preston," he said, opening the back door. "Let me help you with the babies." The name meant nothing to Sarah, but the way he carefully helped her maneuver the twins into the back seat suggested he'd done this before. The car's interior was blissfully warm, heated leather seats providing instant relief from the bitter wind. Michael returned to the driver's seat and turned to face her. "My name is Michael Preston. I run Preston Holdings. We own real estate developments, some technology companies, various investments. I tell you this not to brag, but so you understand that I have resources and I'd like to help you." Sarah clutched her empty flower basket defensively. "I don't want charity." "I'm not offering charity," Michael said gently. "I'm offering opportunity. But first I'd like to hear your story. What's your name? And how did you end up selling flowers in the cold? With 2 babies strapped to your chest?" Something in his tone, not judgment, not pity, but genuine interest, made Sarah's careful walls crack. And once she started talking, the story poured out. She told him about college, about the nursing program she'd loved, about getting pregnant and being abandoned by her boyfriend and disowned by her family, about trying to work while caring for twins, about the impossibility of affording childcare, about the bureaucratic nightmares of social services and the humiliation of food banks and the constant calculation of whether to buy diapers or groceries. "I'm not lazy," Sarah said fiercely, tears streaming down her face. "I work so hard, but it's never enough. The system is designed for failure. If I get a job that pays better, I lose assistance. If I work full-time, childcare costs more than I earn. If I go back to school, I can't work enough hours to pay rent. Every door I try leads nowhere, and meanwhile, my babies are suffering because I can't give them what they need." Michael listened without interrupting, his expression growing more serious as Sarah talked. When she finished, he was quiet for a long moment. 22 years ago, he finally said, "I was standing on a street corner not far from here. Not with babies, but with a cardboard sign asking for help. I'd lost everything, my job, my apartment, my savings. I was 3 days from becoming completely homeless." Sarah stared at him, unable to reconcile this wealthy man in his expensive car with the image of homelessness. "A woman stopped her car and offered me a job," Michael continued. "Not charity, a job. She owned a cleaning company and needed someone to clean office buildings at night. It was minimum wage, hard work, and I was overqualified. I had an MBA, for God's sake. But I took it because I needed to survive." He paused. "That woman was named Dorothy Chen. She didn't just give me a job. She mentored me. She introduced me to people in her network. She encouraged me to start my own business. She lent me seed money when I had a promising idea. And when I succeeded, she refused repayment. She said, 'Pass it forward. When you see someone struggling the way you struggled, help them the way I helped you.'" "Where is she now?" Sarah asked softly. "She died 5 years ago," Michael said, his voice thick with emotion. "Cancer. But before she died, she made me promise to honor our agreement, to pass it forward. I've tried to do that through various foundations and programs, but honestly, those feel impersonal. This, meeting someone directly, helping in a way that's immediate and meaningful, this is what Dorothy would have wanted." He pulled a business card from his wallet and handed it to Sarah. "Here's what I'm proposing. Preston Holdings has an on-site daycare center for employees' children. It's subsidized, high quality, and there are currently openings. I can get your twins enrolled immediately." Sarah's breath caught. "I can't afford daycare." "You're not listening," Michael said with a slight smile. "I said subsidized. You'd pay on a sliding scale based on income. For someone in your situation, it would be essentially free until you're earning enough to contribute." "But I'm not an employee," Sarah protested. "Not yet," Michael agreed. "But you were studying nursing, correct? We have a medical clinic on site that serves our employees. It's run by a nurse practitioner who's been telling me for months that she needs an assistant. The position requires someone to schedule appointments, handle basic first aid, keep records, stock supplies. It doesn't require a nursing degree, just someone smart, reliable, and interested in healthcare." Sarah felt hope rising, dangerous and intoxicating. "Why would you do this for me?" "You don't know me." "I know enough," Michael said. "I know you're standing in the cold selling flowers instead of begging. I know you're dressed poorly, but your children are bundled in every warm thing you own. I know you're exhausted but still trying. That tells me you're exactly the kind of person Dorothy saw in me, someone who just needs an opportunity, not charity." "What if I fail?" Sarah whispered. "What if I'm not good enough?" "Then we'll figure it out," Michael said simply. "The point isn't perfection. The point is opportunity. The chance to work, to support your children, to eventually go back to school if that's what you want, to build a life instead of just surviving day to day." Emma and Ethan had fallen asleep in Sarah's arms, finally warm and peaceful. Sarah looked down at them, these two small people who depended entirely on her, who deserved so much more than she'd been able to give them. "Yes," she said. "Yes, I'll take the job. Thank you. Thank you so much." "Don't thank me yet," Michael said with a smile. "Wait until you've worked for us for a while and realize how demanding we can be. But Sarah, I believe you're going to do great things. All you needed was a chance. The next morning, Sarah showed up at Preston Holdings with her twins, terrified and hopeful in equal measure. The building was modern and gleaming, so different from the rundown places she'd lived and worked. The daycare center was bright and cheerful, staffed by professionals who welcomed Emma and Ethan with warmth and expertise. The job itself was exactly as Michael had described, challenging but not overwhelming, important but with room for learning. Rachel, the nurse practitioner, was patient with Sarah's questions and impressed by her medical knowledge retained from her nursing studies. "You're overqualified for this position," Rachel observed after the first week. "Have you thought about finishing your degree?" "I can't afford to go back to school," Sarah said automatically. "Preston Holdings has a tuition assistance program," Rachel replied. "Employees who've been with us for 6 months can apply. It covers up to full tuition for degree programs related to their work. You're in healthcare. Nursing definitely qualifies." Sarah felt tears threatening. Every door she'd thought was closed seemed to be opening, one after another, revealing possibilities she'd stopped letting herself imagine. Over the following months, Sarah rebuilt her life. She enrolled in night classes at a community college, working toward her nursing degree. Emma and Ethan thrived in daycare, hitting developmental milestones Sarah had worried they'd miss because of their difficult start. She moved out of the studio apartment into a small 2-bedroom in a safe neighborhood. She started saving money, actually saving, building an emergency fund instead of living crisis to crisis. Michael checked in periodically, not as a boss. He wasn't directly her supervisor, but as a mentor. He'd ask about her classes, her children, her plans. He'd offer advice when she struggled and encouragement when she succeeded. "You're doing this," he'd tell her. "Not me. I just opened the door. You're the one who walked through it and did the work." But Sarah knew better. Yes, she was working hard. Yes, she was making good choices. But none of it would have been possible without that moment when Michael stopped his car, bought her flowers, and offered her a chance. 2 years after that cold March day, Sarah graduated with her nursing degree. She'd been offered a full-time position in the Preston Holdings medical clinic with benefits, good pay, and a schedule that allowed her to be present for Emma and Ethan. Her twins were 3 now, happy and healthy and thriving. At her graduation ceremony, Michael was there in the audience beside Rachel and several other colleagues from Preston Holdings. After the ceremony, he pulled Sarah aside. "Dorothy would be proud," he said simply. "And so am I. You've worked incredibly hard to get here. I couldn't have done it without you," Sarah said. "Michael, you saved us. My children would have had such a different, harder life if you hadn't stopped that day. Or you would have found another way," Michael replied. "Because that's who you are, someone who survives, who persists, who fights for her children. I just made the fighting a little less impossible." He paused. "I need to tell you something. That day I stopped my car. I'd just come from a doctor's appointment. I'd been diagnosed with early-stage cancer, treatable but serious. And I was driving around trying to process it, thinking about mortality and legacy and what really mattered." Sarah felt her throat tighten. "Are you okay?" "I am," Michael assured her. "Treatment went well. I'm cancer-free now, but that diagnosis changed my perspective. Made me think about Dorothy and her promise to pass it forward. Made me realize I'd been doing it in abstract ways, writing checks, sitting on boards, but not in the personal, meaningful way she'd helped me. And then you saw me selling flowers," Sarah said softly. "And then I saw you," Michael confirmed. A young mother, clearly struggling, but still trying. Not begging, not giving up, but selling flowers in the cold to feed her babies. It reminded me of myself holding that cardboard sign, desperate but not defeated. And I thought, this is my chance. This is how I honor Dorothy's memory and my own second chance at life. He smiled. "So thank you, Sarah, for letting me help you, for working so hard to make that help matter, for proving that what Dorothy believed, that people just need opportunity, not judgment, was true." 5 years after that cold day, Sarah was a full-fledged registered nurse, running the medical clinic at Preston Holdings. Emma and Ethan were in kindergarten, reading above grade level, showing no signs of the trauma that might have marked children who'd spent their earliest months in poverty. But Sarah never forgot. She volunteered at homeless shelters, using her nursing skills to provide health care to people experiencing the kind of desperation she'd once known. She spoke at community college, Sharing her story with other single mothers trying to balance school and parenting, she contributed to scholarship funds and child care initiatives. When some people struggle, truly saw them the way Michael had seen them, he helped. Not with grand gestures usually, but with the kind of practical assistance that actually lives, connections to information about programs, sometimes just the acknowledgement that they were trying. Their efforts mattered, that they deserved support rather than judgment. I'm passing it forward, she told Michael when he noticed her growing advocacy work. Like I asked you, like you did for me, you're doing more than that, Michael observed. You're using your experience to help me. You judged while selling flowers in the cold. That's 10 years after that cold March day, Sarah stood at an intersection, down the same intersection where she sold flowers. She wasn't selling anything. She was distributing information in a new program. She helped develop through comprehensive support for single parents, subsidized child training to care hesitantly. Is real? Looking at the flies. One of those things where myself, so many requirements you can never actually qualify. It's real, Sarah. Been where you are. 10 years ago, I was standing in this exact corner, selling flowers with my twin babies strapped to my chest, freezing and desperate and out of options. Someone helped me. And now I helped. That eyes filled with tears. I don't know if I can do this. Go back to school, mom, it feels impossible. It's impossible to do alone, Sarah agreed. That's what you do it alone. You're going to let us help you. Someone help. And someday, when you're on your feet, you'll help someone else. Oh, God.
Okay. Hold on. I'm gonna go out and come back. It's kind of like something stacking. Okay, now I can hear you. I didn't know what was happening. I was like, it was kind of like an in and out like thing going on, but I can hear you now.